Okay, this is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at the weigh-in here, ahead of tomorrow night's show at the O2. Well, thankfully the show is going on.
Yeah, a big thank you to Eddie and Matchroom for keeping the show on. It would have been a lot of hard work on my point, but that's the least of everyone's worries. The boxers have put a lot of time and effort into it, so just glad that it's going on for their sakes more than anyone's.
So over maybe 8 days ago, let's talk about that kind of period of uncertainty where that news was filtering, obviously, that he was injured. Then we're kind of waiting for Matchroom from our side. So what was going on around that time? He was obviously in a little bit of a panic, thinking, is the show on or off? Well,
surprise, surprise, I was in the cafe actually, sitting there, and we got a group chat, and it come through saying Dillian's pulled out. And I was saying, when you heard this, I thought it was a wind-up. And then Johnny started texting me, and he said, look, it's 50-50 if the show's going on. But I always try to stay positive, KUGAN. I thought there's a lot of fights going on, a lot of good fights going on. So hopefully it will go on, but there was a lot of eye in the mouth times, certainly.
I love the tactics though. It was like, right, what can we? I can imagine this situation. What can we do? I'll tell you what. Let's chuck your name into the hat to fight Wellington. There's an opponent there for him.
Well, to be truthful with you, Johnny really wanted it to go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people coming to watch him, so he didn't want to let them down. And he said, look, what shall I do? And he spoke to SJM, Adam Morley, and that, and he said, look, I'll offer to fight if it saves the show. But I know Babbage had done the same, but we didn't know at that time.
Yeah.
But Johnny would have definitely stepped in if they'd have let him to fight, definitely, just to keep the show going.
I know, but it's a good thing really for his progression of his career. I think we can all agree that where Wallin is in his career, obviously he was fighting Dillian Whyte, it probably wouldn't have been the most sensible thing to have done.
Listen, Wallin, from his point of view, wouldn't have wanted to fight Johnny. He's got nothing to gain. Whereas with Johnny, he had everything to gain. Even if he'd have boxed, lost, but done well, it would have been, oh, well, he's not expected to win. But believe me, Johnny would fancy his chances with anyone, but it's not ideal, obviously, no. Because if you do give a good account of yourself, if you do win, where'd you go after that? You know?
Yeah, it can only go up from there.
Exactly, and you know, there's no disrespect to Wallin, you know, he is a level or two above Johnny. No disrespect at all, but Johnny was desperate for the show to go on, and thankfully it is, thankfully.
So, 1,400 tickets, which is a rare occurrence in boxing. When you kind of, Eddie Hearn was talking about kind of the ticket sellers in general, when you move away from kind of the Joshuas and etc., where their kind of selling does itself, where Johnny's at in his career, there's not a lot of people that can bang out 1,400 tickets.
Well, to be honest with you, we could have done quite a few more. We've got about 100 people coming in boxes here that have no people with boxes, so we could have sold them tickets. You know, he's well liked, Johnny. He's got a big following from round home, but I've sold tickets all over the country, KUGAN. There's people coming from Cornwall now, they're on their way, up north, at South London, loads of tickets to South London. So, you know, but thankfully he's got a nice appeal about him, and people like what they see, but he has got a big following in the local area, Romford, Essex, Brentwood, that way. You know, a lot of people do like him, so long may it continue.
I think Eddie Hearn was on a little bit of a panic that if he had pulled it, he could have had to stay clear of Romford for a little while.
I think Eddie wouldn't have been able to go to Romford for quite a while, so I think Eddie done the right thing, the wise thing. We got out of the car park here and we parked next to Eddie and we walked up, and you know, I just got a lot of admiration for him. There's Darren waving, look, just got a lot of admiration for him and Matchroom for keeping it going, you know, because they could have quite easily pulled it, but you know, well done to them.
Absolutely. So yes, well, it'll be a bit of an Essex stroke, Exeter stroke, wherever else in the country takeover tomorrow. Yeah, but obviously you're probably nervous and confident at the same time every time your boy fights.
Yeah, I'm always nervous. You never take anything for granted, especially in heavyweights. I mean, Tuero's a fit man, he's a strong man, he comes to fight. So Johnny's got to be on top of his game. And the problem that I worry about is with the crowd and everything, Johnny can get a bit carried away. He's got to rein it in. Mark's been teaching him, rein it in, box from distance. If he does that, he'll be fine. I just hope he doesn't, you know, get carried away. Because when he gets carried away, you can leave yourself open. Anything can happen.
So over eager to please, and I mean, it is pressure when you're fighting in front of that many of your fans.
Yeah, he's always going to be pressure, but he's got to handle it. Look, come in here, Tom.
Oh, you might as well jump in it.
Look,
we're sat in bars. Look, big man.
Big Tom.
How you going? All right, good.
I'm not grasping you up here, but basically he rocks up here about 11 o'clock, and the first thing he says to me is, where can we get a fucking beer from?
I'm still drinking from last night, you know what I mean?
He asked me, he said, where are you drinking? I said, I'm having a coffee, Tom. He went, sod that, and he went somewhere else. No, really, look, he's got soaked, but really great. Tom's been a lot of help with ticket sales as well. He's really helped us. So it's good when you've got a man like him on your side as well. So really appreciate it.
I've got to get me shirt off and get up there now, have I?
As I said, we're having a weigh in. That'd be the best weigh in all day, wouldn't it?
Hopefully the scales will take me and you know what I mean?
All right, well, listen, best of luck to your boy and your team this weekend. We'll talk after the fight tomorrow, and let's hope it's a good night.
KUGAN, appreciate all your help and support, and we'll have another dinner, hopefully after a good night, after tomorrow.
No problem, mate, not a problem. Thank you very much, John. Thank you, John. Thank you, Tom. That's all right, mate, no problem.